In this video, I'll be going over Stepford's premier intercity service, Stepford Express. Stepford Express currently operates 14 routes, calling at a total of 17 stations. It's worth noting that, just like A-Link, Express's routes are mostly just different service patterns. The majority of Express's routes go between Stepford Central and Lynn by the Sea. However, there's also lines to Benton, Newry, and Rayleigh Bay. The main line routes are the most frequent, with the Newry and Rayleigh Bay branches having a lower frequency. Just like on A-Link, the trains can make or break an express operator. We start off with the Class 43 HST. This aging train has been on Express since the dawn of time, and what a worthy train. Its interior is incredibly comfortable, the engine isn't too loud, and it even has a flexible amount of coaches. This train is a reliable diesel workhorse that's still standing, even in the age of electric trains. The Class 180 is interesting. The interior is pleasant, the engine isn't too loud, the seating is comfortable. However, that's where the good things end, because none of these things matter if the train doesn't show up. From fires and severe overheating, to disabled features and even, allegedly, running away with the brakes supplied, despite its comfortability, this train, as well as the 175, is a reliability nightmare that is single-handedly carrying Stepford's railway maintenance sector, keeping engineers constantly occupied with a plethora of issues, to the point where they're just disabling parts of the train to have less issues to deal with. The Class 220 and 221, and yes, I will be rating them as one, show us how diesel units are actually done. Rather than using hydraulic traction causing overheating, these trains use diesel to generate electricity and then get powered by electric motors, or in monkey terms, basically the same thing but more reliable and less boom boom. The seats are relatively comfortable, however these trains do tend to get massively overcrowded due to their very low number of coaches. The Class 390 Pendolino is the only tilting train in Express's fleet, if you ignore the fact that the tilting has been manually disabled. This train is generally nice, but the seats can sometimes be fairly out of alignment with the windows. The Class 397 Civity by CAF is our next train, and it's relatively fast and comfortable. It's the only express train to have a destination display on the front of the train. The seating is comfortable and moving around in it generally feels smooth. Right, the IETs. In this case, the 800 and 801. What the f*** are these seats? And who puts 5-car trains on the Lynn line? That is insane. Overcrowding intensifies. Apologies. Let's move on to Express's right-of-way. Stepford Express generally follows the Lynn main line. In the branches for Newry, Morganstown Docks and Rayleigh Bay, it shares the double tracks with Waterline and Connect respectively. The main line is mostly quad-tracked with the exception of major interchange stations like Benton, Leighton City and West Wyvern, where Express and Connect share platforms. The 6-track segment between St Helens Bridge and Stepford East, and the 8-track segment between Stepford East and Stepford Central, have express trains going on the right side when looking towards Stepford, with 2 platforms at St Helens Bridge, then skipping Stepford East entirely for 4 terminating platforms at Stepford Central. On the main line, the only places Express shares tracks with Connect, aside from major interchange stations with big junctions like Morganstown, Benton, Leighton City and West Wyvern, is Rocket Parade, Edgemead and Westercoast. The majority of Express's alignment is generally built like a high-speed service, seen in features such as the long curve around Stepford East or the High Street Viaduct. Now we shall go over Stepford Express's 14 routes, starting with R075 or the Fast Benton Express. It's one stop from Stepford Central to Benton and it takes 5 minutes. It's a very nice route and there's not much else to say here. R076 is the Leighton Express, taking you from Stepford Central to Leighton City, stopping at St Helens Bridge, Benton and Leighton Stepford Road. It's also a nice and sensible route. R077 is the new route of Express, and it's the slowest line to Lynn, stopping at St Helens Bridge, Benton, both Leightons, Edgemead, West Wyvern and North Shore. It is, however, a very nice line. R078 is just a fast version of R077, skipping multiple stations. It feels a lot more like an intercity express line, that's for sure. One of my picks on Express, for sure. R079 is the Benton Express, but stopping at St. Helens Bridge. I prefer this line to R075, as not only does it feel more realistic, but you're likely to get stuck here anyways, even if you're not meant to stop. R080 is the first of the Morganstown lines, and I don't really know what to say here. Again, it's a really nice line and I kind of like it, but the next line is the best line on Express in my opinion. It's the notorious Lynn Superfast, R081. It only stops at Leighton City, and that's it. Nothing else. If SCR had a high-speed line, this would be it. Absolutely amazing line. I don't really know what to say here. It's my favourite line on Express. R082 is a, shall we say, interesting line. I think interesting is the right word. Yeah, interesting. Now, you'd think this is because it stops at Ellesmere Junction, yeah? Well, actually, not only does it stop at Ellesmere Junction, it also terminates at West Wyvern for some reason. As I said, it's a really interesting line. Alright, yes, I was just delaying the inevitable. Here it comes. R083. What the actual f*** is this line? Express to Newry? Why? Just why? And over the shuttle instead of over Benton? At least it stops at Wester Coast and Hampton Hargate, but seriously, come on Tobias. R084 is like 83, but with fewer benefits, so it's worse. It doesn't stop at Wester Coast or Hampton Hargate, and it goes all the way to Newry Harbour. I hate this line with all my heart, and yes, I have made a time-lapse on it before, but that's because Newry Harbour at sunset looks really nice, not because I like the route. R085 is the perfect explanation of Express to wait, it doesn't even go there? Just to Benton Platform 2? Here's a suggestion, Mr. Tobias. Use the connect platforms that the 156s use, rather than overcrowding this thing onto the already overcrowded single waterline terminating platform. R086 is surely going to be normal. Oh wait, no it's not, because it stops at Eden Quay. Great job, Tobias. I swear, he's just trolling with these lines at this point. R087 is Rayleigh Bay? Seriously? Can I just quit my job? Whenever I try to sneak rage bait into the script, at least I try to conceal it. Tobias should be prosecuted for assault, because this line is an assault on our brains. R088 is finally a normal express line, meant to get you to Wester Coast quickly, hence its name being the Wester Coast Express. I don't have much to say here, but I am upset at this line's frequency, and that's all I'll say about the timetable. Areas of improvement. Overall, Express doesn't have many areas to improve in, aside from actually becoming an intercity train operator rather than a dark purple cross-country ripoff. Remove the Newry line, remove the Rayleigh Bay line, and to those that complain about diesel stock not having any use, I got news for you. It's 2026. Why do we even have DMUs on these lines, especially if they're only going to be used on lines that don't make any sense? If the entire main line is electrified, and Express should really use the main line, then just dish the diesels, or keep a small amount in backup for if the power grid fails. Also, please scrap the 180s before they literally explode by themselves. Overall, Express is a great and comfortable intercity operator, with a few illogical lines that absolutely get my blood boiling. The most annoying train award goes to the 180 for barely even constituting legitimate rolling stock, as it seems to be mimicking a statue most of its time. And the best train award goes to the 390 for being able to oh wait, it can't do that. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I apologize for the Newry rant. Big thanks to my channel members whose names you can see on screen, and consider joining the Discord server via the link in the description. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.